Hyvää iltapäivää. That'll be unfortunately the end of the finished portion of my presentation. So I'm Bhasker Kaushal, CEO of Kempower since June of this year, and super excited to be here at the leading investor event in Finland. So today I want to talk about electrification and Kempower. And maybe just a quick show of hands. How many folks here own an EV and drive an EV? All right, about 50%. And how many of you know about Kempower? All right, 100%. So more people know about Kempower than drive EVs. Well, look, electrification is one of the most profound transformations that is happening in the transport and mobility segment since the innovation of the internal combustion engine. And it's a once-in-a-generation shift. And it's a very exciting shift. And the companies that are going to lead through this transition are the ones that scale fast and that execute flawlessly. And we know that Finland has produced a lot of industrial technology great companies, and we believe at Kempower that Kempower is going to be the next great industrial technology company coming out of Finland. So let me start by talking about electric mobility. That transition is happening today, and it's scaling fast. When you look at the number of battery electric vehicles that have been on the road, in 2020, just since the start of this decade, in 5 years, that has grown fivefold. Across the globe, there were 8 million BEVs. Today, there are 43 million BEVs around the world. In Europe and North America alone, that number has gone from 2 million BEVs to 17 million battery electric vehicles. So that's an 8-fold increase over a 5-year period. Now, why are customers adopting battery electric vehicles? Some of the folks that said they drive, I'm an EV driver myself for 6+ years. They're just a better experience. There's many more affordable battery electric vehicles available. In Europe today, there are more than 20 models that are less than 25,000 euros. So many more affordable models than where it started 5-7 years back. Battery prices are declining fast. That's allowed the automakers to be able to offer many more affordable electric vehicles. And then when you look at the total cost of ownership, battery electric vehicles are just cheaper. As one of my customers put it best, the electric mile is cheaper than the diesel mile. Now, in addition to customers adopting, there's the policy support and the investments that are really supporting this transition. The policies, if you look at the CO2, the carbon dioxide emissions targets that Europe has set, by 2035, almost 100% of the cars and the vans will need to be electric to be able to meet and achieve those targets. So the policy support is critical. The governments play a key role in continuing to stay true on those policy initiatives. When we look at investments, the electric vehicle adoption is driven by the charging infrastructure. And that infrastructure, the investments for that, are being supported by both the gas and energy majors and then charge point operators that are just building pure-play electric vehicle infrastructure. If you look at the gas and energy majors, the likes of BP Pulse, EDF, Total Energies, big investments that they've outlaid over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, and they're continuing to grow that installed base of chargers. The governments are supporting, if you look at North America, if you look in the US, the NEVI program, if you look at in Europe, the AFIR program, those are both examples of government support being provided, and we have benefited from those as well with customers adopting those. And then lastly, the charge point operators, they continue to be able to gain investments. So, there's been good examples of companies like EVgo, Osprey, and Electra that have continued to be able to get investment from big infrastructure funds as well as through public markets. Now, fast charging should be, charging should be as simple as when you drive a gas and you go to a gas station, and it should be simple, it should be fast, it should be reliable. And charging and DC fast charging does just that. It's providing that fast, scalable, and easy experience. And today, Kempower focuses on this. And today, Kempower is working across different segments where we have solutions that can provide charging to take a vehicle's battery from 10% state of charge to 80% state of charge within 30 minutes. So fast charging is the key enabler to electric vehicle adoption and electrification. Now, if you just look at what does that mean for the future, if the current growth estimates remain, that 17 million BEVs that I talked about on the road, that's estimated to be close to 80 million BEVs around the world in North America and Europe alone over the course of the next 5 years. And then the fast charging infrastructure over on the right that's needed to support that EV transition is growing at a very fast clip. It's, today there are 400,000 fast charging points in North America and Europe. That is expected to be 2.7 million fast charging points by 2030. So we need more charging capacity, we need more reliable charging, and more access across US and Europe. Now, if you look at what does that translate into, for a company like Kempower that plays in this industry, in the charging industry, that means there's a massive industry opportunity. It's close to, you could argue, hey, is the industry going to grow 25% to 35%? But if you take a midpoint estimate, that industry, which is about a 3 to 4 billion euro industry, is expected to grow to more than 10 billion, anywhere from 13 to 16 billion. And I've served in many different industry segments, and in most industrial technology, a high single-digit growth rate is supposed to be really good. And you look at this industry, this is a very fast-growing industry compared to many other industrial technology segments. Now, a little bit about Kempower. Kempower is a scale-up success story from Finland. It's great. In just a few years, Kempower has gone from what was a startup to one of the most trusted charging partners in Europe and the US. And every Kempower charger carries a piece of Finnish engineering, with the Finnish reliability, with the engineering excellence, with the sustainability DNA. You look at Kempower being the 8th fastest growing company. Today, last year we reported 225 million euros in revenues and 30,000 charge points across the world. We are the number 3 player in the world in DC fast charging. And if you look on the lower right, we have charging points all across the world. It's not just Europe. It's fast growing in the US. You look at Asia, Africa, we have charge points across the globe. Now, what does it take to win on the global stage, and does Kempower have that? What we are focused on, we are a very mission-driven company. We're mission-driven to drive the transition to sustainable energy and driving emissions reduction through the development of intelligent fast charging solutions. It starts with having great technology, being able to win with our customers, having world-class operations, and a great team and a great culture, supported by financial discipline. And I'll talk a little bit about these. When you look at the technology in fast charging, the new currency is reliability, its intelligence, and its scalability. And Kempower's entire design philosophy has been built around uptime, energy efficiency, serviceability, and the speed of deployment of these chargers. And to scale globally, the charging technology must be flexible. Charge point operators that put 2 to 4 charging stations or charge points initially want to be able to scale that as the EV adoption grows. And that is at the heart of how the Kempower technology was built. It was built to be modular. It was built to be a distributed satellite system, which was scalable with light dispensers. When you go to I was up in Lapland over the weekend, and it was great to see. In extreme conditions, the Kempower chargers worked flawlessly. And it was just so great to see. And I was in Delhi just a few months back, the exact opposite, extreme heat conditions, and the Kempower chargers worked very, very reliably. So reliability, scalability, all of that has been the advantage that Kempower has built over a period of time through its technology. Now, we're not just resting on our laurels. We're innovating for the next frontiers. If you think about the charging technology, charge point operators will scale from a site that had 4 charge points to a site that will have 25, 30, 40 charge points. Truck charging will emerge. what the first wave of adoption has been on passenger cars. The next wave of electric vehicle adoption is coming in trucks, and it's already happening. When you think about charging and the grid, in between, there can be battery storage. And it's not just out into the future, it's happening now. Battery storage is being put at these charging sites, and these chargers are talking to the grid and the batteries together. So these are all things that we are working on today. We are piloting solutions, we're launching products. You look at our More Power, More Plugs solution that we launched earlier this year. That was to be able to serve the needs of the growing sites, the bigger sites, up to 1.2 megawatt power coming out of one single unit. Truck charging, we were the first company in the world to do public truck charging in Sweden. And that's the first. So we're leading in the truck charging space as well. And then on the battery integration, we're doing pilots and installations with customers today where we're installing batteries. Now, I mentioned about reliability. It requires a full life cycle solution. This is not just about, a charger is not just about a hardware and a box. It is a full stack solution, which is a hardware, which has embedded software. It has cloud software built on it for intelligence, as well as services that we offer through our charging partners. We have a global network of charging partners that allow our customers to focus on their operations, and we take care of the service. We have solution engineers that work with our sales engineers to create a solution just for what our customers need and desire. And customers are increasingly putting their trust in Kempower chargers. Kempower is trusted by the leading operators across segments and across different regions. When you look at charge point operators, the largest ones such as PowerDot, Recharge, they use Kempower chargers. Retailers such as locally in Finland, you must recognize ABC, the S Group, as well as Sainsbury's in the UK. Logistics companies such as DHL, and large port operators such as DP World. They're all employing Kempower chargers across different regions in their sites. Now, quick note about the US. We're not just focused on Europe. In the US, we entered the market a bit late. So we entered in late 2023. But we've had a very strong start, and we have a great share gain opportunity. And you look at the US market, just this year, through the first 9 months of this year, we grew sales, if you look at the chart on the right, 70% year on year, and we grew orders 176%, so more than double the orders from last year. So that gives us great confidence going into the future as well in a very important market. Just a quick note, scaling globally requires being local. And operational excellence is the foundation that we've built for global scaling. We have 2 sets of factories, 3 facilities in Lahti to serve Europe, and then 1 factory in Durham, North Carolina to serve the North America market. That gives us the ability to be very close to our customers and deliver great world-class delivery excellence with 99% plus order to delivery to our customers. It's an asset-light model, so we assemble close to our customers, and we're scalable. We have capacitized for the future. There's capacity already for almost 3 times the demand that we're currently doing. So a lot of those investments are here. As the industry grows, as the market grows, and as Kempower grows, we're ready for the future. And we are very focused on things like automation and lean to make sure that it's not just about scaling, but it's also about productivity. We're doing this in a very, very cost-efficient manner as we go. I'll come back to our mission here. Everything that we do is focused on sustainability. And those 2 mission drivers, transition to sustainable energy and emissions reduction, if you look at what impact we're driving, there's 1.2 billion kilowatt hours of energy that we've delivered through Kempower chargers to date. That's approximately 205,000 avoided crude oil barrels, if you look at that in that sense. And 1.1 million tons of CO2 emissions avoided year to date. And look, we also got a great recognition from NASDAQ, which is the green equity designation for companies, for investors that are looking to invest in green, sustainable companies. Kempower was awarded that. That means that more than 50% of our revenues, ours is 100% of the revenues, are coming from green sources, and more than 50% of our investments are also in green projects. So a great recognition for Kempower. Look, last, for those that are looking to invest in Kempower, I will leave you with a few key messages. Why is Kempower a great investment? Number one, it starts with being in a large, fast-growing end market, which is growing, call it 25 to 35%, 30% on average over the course of the next few years. Kempower is an industry leader in technology through all the differentiated technology that I talked about. We have a growing and a loyal customer base around the world. We have world-class operations that are already capacitized for the growth, so we've made the investments for future. And what's brought the team here is a great team and a winning culture that we are building. And we're doing all of this with great amount of execution discipline. Just in Q3 alone, in the third quarter, if that's a barometer of success, we delivered 40% growth in revenues and more than 40% growth in order intake as well versus last year. So I'll leave you with those messages. Thank you for listening and thank you for joining. And I'll take a few questions if you have any. Thank you.